How to grease CV joints without removing them. Is it possible to grease the CV joint of your car without removing the boots? And if it is possible, what are the steps on how to grease CV joints without removing the boots? Let's discuss that in this video as well as address other questions that are related to the greasing CV joint. What are a CV joint and its function of CV joint? By definition, a CV joint, which is the short form of constant velocity joint, is what ensures a steady speed for your vehicle. They connect drive wheels to transmissions with two such joints on each axle, an inner joint connecting the transmission to the axle, while another brings together the axle and wheel. CV joints play an essential role in keeping wheel speeds consistent when encountering uneven terrain or obstacles like potholes, providing bonding between two rotating shafts so they work in concert rather than against one another due to poor lubrication. How to grease CV joints without removing them. First and foremost, you need to purchase a grease needle, and you buy a grease needle at almost all auto parts stores for relatively affordable prices and designed to attach directly onto standard grease guns. Your safety must always come first, which means jacking up the vehicle sufficiently on two jacks so as to provide enough room underneath for you to go under without any obstruction. Now, are here the steps to grease a CV joint. Start by unbolting and taking off the tire, leaving only its hub intact. Next, you have to turn the wheel away from the steering system, which is outward, in order to reveal the CV joint of your car. Now you have to get a grease gun with a pointed or narrow mouthpiece. Pierce a boot CV joint using the grease gun before injecting some grease into the joint. Locate and secure any holes caused by the grease gun with superglue after applying the appropriate amount of grease to the CV joint. Assemble all remaining vehicle wheel parts and clean each one carefully using soapy water. Repeat steps 2, 6 with any remaining drive wheels. Reconnect the tires and lower the jacks. So basically that is the way how to grease a CV joint without removing the boot. Now how about grease-depleted CV joints? What happens if the CV joints run out of grease? What happens if the CV joints run out of grease? Without enough grease in their CV joints, rotating shafts begin grinding against each other while accelerating wears of all kinds and noise levels. You may notice increasing wear on tires and increasing wear on brake pads, resulting in wheel dislodging in motion, rendering the car inoperable and necessitating either towing services or immediate on-site repair. However, before CV joints reach this crucial phase, CV joints usually will provide warning signals, such as an audible click noise whenever you turn your steering wheel. Dielectric grease vs. silicone grease. What's the difference? Dielectric and silicone grease vary substantially in several aspects. Formally speaking, their forms differ dramatically, with dielectric grease being translucent for sealing electrical conductors while protecting from dirt, sand, dust, debris, etc. Conversely, silicone grease produced from mixing thickeners with silicone oils provides water resistance that's great for protecting rubber parts against dirt. Dielectric grease tends to cost more than silicone grease due to its wide array of applications. While both are non-conductive, dielectric remains flexible while silicone eventually hardens. Silicone grease is significantly thicker than dielectric grease. Both varieties boast high melting points. To lubricate a CV joint, first hoist your vehicle using a jack, remove its tire, rotate outward, and gain access to its joint with ease. Make a hole using the sharp tool in the rubber boot, then inject grease through it directly into the joint, then seal up the hole using superglue.